Hi there, welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I'm attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and fix several years of financial misbehaviour. And it is absolutely a welcome back because I have been away for a couple of weeks and for nothing so nice as a holiday or a break that was enjoyable. Full disclosure, I'm not in the best place at the minute mentally. Um, if you've been around here for a while, you'll know that there's a lot of stuff that's happened over 6 months. And I cannot believe that I'm saying it's 6 months now that this has been going on with my physical health, changes, just stress on my budget because of that. And when I filmed my last video, I wasn't in a great place filming that video. I wasn't in a great place when I finished filming the video. And I sat there afterwards and went to film the next day and just thought, I can't talk and think about money at the minute, and I can't really talk and think about anything. um but there's a certain amount of having to pull your socks up and strapping your Doc Martens, in my case, back on and stomping my way through it again, because it's not going to go anywhere. My mental health is not just going to massively improve, and life stresses aren't just going to go away. And the kind of bills need to keep churning and things keep happening. But I did need a couple of weeks to just be and to just go to work and then do nothing else when I came back. And I still cannot come to terms with where I am financially, and I'm really struggling with where I am financially. And I know that there are positives to take away from these 6 months. Of course, there are, because I've not increased my debt and I've been able to make sure that core bills have been paid and things that have popped up I've covered, and I have done enough to plug my income. But there is so much exhaustion within that. And I think when I did my last video, I was looking for a little glimmer of something, just a little glimmer of my income gives me a bit of breathing space for things that pop up, and it doesn't really. And your comments on that video were lovely, and I put a couple of community post outs basically saying I'm not well and I won't be back until I feel like I am, and I'm not well at all. And yet I am still back. And have I financially shot myself in the foot because the algorithm absolutely punishes creators who want to take a break in whatever niche you film a video in and whatever space you operate, and be you big or small. If you take a break and you stop pushing content out, you suffer financially. But it needed to be done because I was like, well, there's nothing else I can say at the minute because it's just the same thing. I'm just saying the same thing. But it's been a couple of weeks, and therefore it's a couple of weeks where we're just going to do a budget catch up for this week just gone, where I am currently sitting here attempting to survive a heat wave, and I don't do well in excess of 20 degrees. So things are uncomfortable and humid and hot. And I have the week before this one's just gone as well. And we're just going to pick things up again and we're going to see where they go. And I'm not going to do, certainly for the next couple of days, although I do get paid at the end of this approaching week, so I need to do something. I'm not going to do any planning or anything for 2 or 3 days, and I'm just going to continue in the being state. The only thing I've picked up and tried to do, I made a real concerted effort to try and do, is to do some more on Vinted again. And that is to get that up and running, because it will come as no surprise that I've not really done much with that at all, and you'll see that reflected in the numbers. So let's take you through to where we left off from the first week of June. And all of my focuses that I had planned were obviously planned when I was feeling not how I'm feeling now. So I carried a rollover in of £53.97. My other, which was my vintage sales, was 25, and I explained that I had a tax rebate which would be arriving, and that was £419. My refund itself was £15.10. So therefore I had a total income for this week, which ran from the 9th to the 15th, and that was £513.07. Now a few bills came out. One was my Google Storage, which is my cloud-based online storage, which is £2.49. My contents and insurance was £6.71. My DBS renewal was £16, and then my car insurance I put through early, and that was £67.98. Therefore, I had bills and fixed expenses of £93.18 and a rollover of £419 onto my flexible expenses. And to me, flexible expenses are things like food, fuel, etc., the day-to-day living. My fuel was £37.10. My food was £78.08, and I did explain, if I can remember rightly, in that video that when I recapped the first week, that I needed to do a big food shop. So there we go there. The cat was £16.95, and that's cat food. My personal spending was £52.15, just to try and get some heatwave appropriate clothing, of which there was not much. And then one thing I did do, and not regretting, and it is what it is I've paid the deposit because I'm going to a new hair salon to get my hair cut, so that is just over half of the cost for me to have a haircut, and that haircut is taking place in 2 days' time, and that was £28.88. And then Father's Day costs for the three of us to take father plus mum out was my share was £23.50. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. There are family stresses and there are family pressures that are going on, linked to money and linked to support, which I've kind of touched on before. It's not helped. That's really not helped my mental health at all. But I will continue to, at this stage, be the bigger person and not kick up a stink on Father's Day, and will pay my part. So £236.66 was spent in this week, and £183.23 was what I rolled over into this current week. Now, this current week I was meant to go to London yesterday to go to an exhibition at the Victoria and Albert Museum. We'd pre-booked the tickets way back, and it was a week where there was going to be lots of extra costs going on. Well, as a result of said heatwave, we cancelled. So the only thing I lost, because I was able to refund back in for the tickets, for the actual train tickets itself, was £5 admin fee. So that refund will arrive back in this coming week, and I essentially had to pay out £5 on that admin fee there. That was a relief, because at this point I'd obviously not done much on Vinted, and if I had, it would have been paying out. So the rollover we've just seen was £183.23, and £10 was what I pulled in from Vinted. No other sales on Etsy, and I've done nothing really to push or promote that. And the social media side of what I do is very dormant and empty as well. Wi-Fi came out, water did not come out, and therefore my flexible expenses was obviously the £5 admin fee. Food was £87.68, so big food shop again. Lots of comfort eating. Which is not what I need to be doing either. A fuel of £12, the cat was £5, and then nothing needed to be spent on toiletries or household, and then no personal spending on money either, because I just didn't feel like anything. So £109.68 with a rollover of £48.55. Now, coming into this week, this is the week that I received my YouTube payout for my videos that are paid in June, that get paid in May. Yeah, because it's a month in arrears, and that will pay the difference for my haircut, so the final half. The focus for this week, where I can, is to continue with Vinted, and indeed today is, you wouldn't think it, but if it is a tiny bit cooler, it certainly doesn't feel like it. And I've started to get those up and listed, and same for second half of last week as well. And then my phased return officially has ended, so I'm back on full school timetable, which isn't really a full school timetable because I had some year 11s on my timetable, and obviously I get some game time back. I'm hoping this week, now that I'm off phased return, I can start asking questions about if I'm moving up onto the pay scale or not. That will be really helpful coming in from September. And then just money admin as I find out and hopefully get confirmed that my wages are indeed going to be back to normal. Original targets and things were based on me not having the tax rebate, and that tax rebate has done an awful lot. It's kind of made up that difference. My energy has got to come out, so yeah, YouTube's coming in, and it will probably go out on an energy bill, and my water as well. My car insurance has been dealt with, so this is all balancing out there. I can probably do with not needing to fill up for my fuel at all. I've got 3/4 of a tank, so I can let that run. Might need to spend a little bit on the cat. Personal spending and haircut I'm going to keep separate. I've not had my haircut since October, so it was something I was always wrestling with. Because it's expensive if you have butt length hair, which is what I do. I still don't know what miscellaneous is. And then yeah, food we'll try and see where things get to. But I have got about £30 and 60p pending to pay in from Vinted, plus whatever I go ahead and sell. And I have just made it. I mean, it was a £3 sale, but we'll take the £3 sale. And then yeah, we'll see what happens. Cards on the table, I'm really not mentally okay. Having gone through the whole physically, seriously unwell. Yeah. I'm going to continue trying to stomp through. I just may not stomp through with as much enthusiasm and false positivity as I have in the past. But I have to stomp through, and I think that's also a really challenging thing to get past, is that I don't really want to right now. There's certainly things that I want to try and get in place, and that's why at the minute I'm not looking at I've not looked at the 5k challenge that I'm doing. I've not tracked that at all. I've not looked at any of my debt. I've not looked at any of my savings plans or goals. I've not reviewed my Q2 goals. Because at the minute that just feels a really pointless thing to try and do. Yeah. Like, I can't understate enough, if you're new here, I try and keep like the mental health day to day out of budgeting, because it's something like I have my own experiences, but I don't really want to comment on wider mental health and money things because it's such a layered thing. But trying to, whether you sit in front of a YouTube channel or Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, trying to sit and look at your money when you feel as in the pits as I do now, it's really hard to look at it and think positively and think hopeful thoughts and convince yourself that everything's going to be fine, even if you've got a history of making things be fine, which is what I do. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I'll be back with a video tomorrow because now the attempt to salvage and get a payout for July begins, which means that I will be plugging and pumping content. What that content's going to be, I don't know. The quality of that content, I don't know. But this is now just purely a numbers game, which is not what I wanted. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and genuinely love you and leave you. And I really hope that you have a fantastic budgeting week wherever you are in the world. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye for now.